Hey guys, it's Coach Mike here. This has been our most commonly requested workout format with an intermediate to advanced mobility series. We're going to be doing a 6-episode series. So if you're following along live with us, it'll be every week on Thursdays for the next 6 weeks. This is a progressive program. So week 1 will be the easiest, and each week will get a little bit harder so you can feel some advancement in your mobility. This program does assume some level of experience with flexibility and mobility training. So if you want a more beginner-friendly routine, something that can get you started, or even something you can do every day if you're not a beginner, check out the link below for our 31-day beginner mobility series. So with the format of the workout, we're going to be doing 40 seconds of work and 20 seconds of rest. We're doing 4 exercises done as a circuit, and we're going to repeat the circuit twice. Each workout is going to have 3 different circuits, and the total runtime of the workouts will be about 25 minutes. We have about a 1-minute rest between the circuits to catch your breath. Let's dive in. This is going to be a good one. Let me know down below if you want to see more of this, and let's get started. Here we go. All right, guys, we're kicking things off with some hip openers. So have a seat on the bum. We're going to open the hips up to 90, bend the knees to 90. Round 1, we're going to do with hands on the floor just to get things loose. Round number 2, we're gonna go no hands and get working on the strength. So let's get right into it. Keep the chest and hips facing forward, and let's get into it. Try to make sure your torso stays nice and still. All right, let's come on up to a bootstrapper squat. So we're gonna sit in a deep squat position. So round 1, we're gonna do bootstrappers. Round 2, we're gonna do some T-spine opening. So sit in your deepest squat, and we're gonna take the hands under the toes. And then from here, send the hips up, stretch the hamstrings. We're gonna go back and forth. Let's go ahead and get into it. Let's start with a hamstring stretch. So press, try to stick the bum out, hold for a second, and then come down into a deep squat, straighten out the spine, push the knees wide. And let's keep going back and forth, getting things warmed up. Round 1 is a little bit easier, and then we get into the harder stuff as we go. All right, we're gonna get right into some Cossack squats. So let's bring the legs nice and wide, and hands as wide as the wrists is a great starting point. We're gonna do high transfers first. So we're gonna squat down to one side, bring the leg as low to the floor as you can, and then lift high through the center and going side to side. So let's begin here. Sit down, try to keep the chest upright, hips and chest facing forward. And we're just gonna go side to side, sink down as low as you can. If you can fully lay this leg down, that's what we're aiming for. Good. That's time. We're gonna move into spinal waves. So come into a push-up position. And then from here, it's basically like a cat and a cow. We're gonna go from a downward facing dog. And then we're gonna round the spine. So suck the stomach in, create a big circle, and round the spine. And then come up to a Cobra Pose in yoga, if you know it. So let's go back and forth. From here, tuck the chin, round the back, come all the way up into a downward dog. And then round the spine. And articulate one vertebra at a time, all the way to an upward. Back and forth. Shoulders are doing the work. Move nice and slow.
All right, back to the beginning. We got hip openers. This round we're gonna do with our hands off the floor. So sit up nice and tall, open the knees, and we're gonna go down, side to side, and just watch that your bum isn't crawling forward. So make sure you're sending the hips back to where they started every time you lift them. So let's go ahead. Side to side we go. Stay as controlled as you can, and make sure you're not crawling forward. If you notice you are, just send the hips back to the same spot they started. Try to move the torso as little as you can and have the motion come just from the hips. So far, so good. All right, back to our squats. This time, we're gonna do some T-spine twisting. So sit down in the deep squat the whole time. We're gonna put one hand, so have the hands on the outsides of the feet. We're gonna lift one hand up to the sky and open the spine, and then switch and do the other side. Open the spine. So let's go ahead and get into it. Sit in the deep squat. Reach one arm up to the ceiling, and then we'll switch. Lift the other arm up to the ceiling. Let's keep going back and forth here. Back to the Cossack squat, so side to side. This time we're gonna stay low in this Cossack. So we're gonna sink down to one side, and then rather than coming up through the center, try to keep the head low and smoothly slide across, going side to side. Stay nice and low, keep the feet flat so you're under complete control, and let's begin. So side to side, stay low and transfer. Stay low. Make sure for this one your feet stay flat as you go side to side. Try not to lift too high. Nice and straight with the torso. You got this. All right, that's time. And we finish off with one more spinal wave. And then we'll have a quick break, 1 minute, before we move on to our next round, which is a tough one. Feel the heart rate up a little bit with that little warm-up round. Here we go, spinal waves, get into it. Downward dog, round the back, and then to upward dog or cobra. Let's keep going. All right, got a quick minute rest. Next round, we've got some inchworms, good for the core and the hamstrings. Got some low lunges, which will help with the splits, and then some prone shoulder raises, which will be good for our shoulders. Final round will be some good mornings, some back bending, and some hip flexor work. Each week things will ramp up a little bit. It'll be a good time. 20 seconds, so we're gonna start with inchworms. So we're just moving the feet. So keep the hands, we're gonna set up in a push-up position, keep your legs straight, and we're gonna inch the toes towards the hands, keeping the legs straight, get as close as you can, and then slowly come back. Try not to bend the legs at all the entire time. Let's begin. So slowly inch the feet forward. Try to keep them straight. And then slowly walk them back. Feel the abs work really hard and the hamstring stretch. Here we go. All right, some low lunges. Let's have the left leg forward to start. We're gonna be in a very wide lunge. So you want your feet at the very front if you're on a yoga mat, and very back of the mat, as far apart as you can. I'm gonna stay low in this lunge. And our goal here, keep the torso upright. We're gonna try and lift this back leg off the floor, but without lifting the hips and chest. And we're gonna come up and down here. Lift, get that back leg as straight as you can and sink the hips down and down. So we're working this back leg hip flexor. Feel it working and down. Keep the chest as straight up and down as you can. And then kick that back heel back. Really feel this back hip flexor work. 15 more seconds here. This is phenomenal for helping you gain your splits. Think about pushing the legs apart like we're doing a split here. Almost there. All right. We're gonna do the exact same thing on the other side. So let's bring the right leg forward, left leg back, nice and far. Bring the legs as far apart as you can. Keep the hips low. And try not to lift the hips or the head. Keep the body upright. Here we go. Lift. Take that leg back, feel this hip flexor work really hard. Go. Lots of space. Try not to lift. Just lift the knee. Try not to lift the hips. At the halfway point. Could be burning. We got prone shoulder raises. We're gonna lie down on the stomach and then bring the arms overhead. So forehead is gonna be staying on the mat, and from here, turn the palms to face slightly up toward the ceiling. Push the arms out of the socket and forward first, and lift with the arms straight off the floor, and try to keep the feet on the ground. So here we go. Lift forward, lift the arms up, and down in for some added difficulty. Try to suck the belly button in while you lift the arms. That's good. All right, round two. Gonna be a little bit spicier after that. So we got push-up. We're gonna start with our inchworms. So be in that push-up position. Walk the feet towards the hands and bring the hips up to the ceiling. So only the feet are moving. Keep the legs nice and straight. Here we go. Suck the stomach in. That'll help you keep the legs straight. For one more, let's go. Legs straight. There we go. All right. Low lunges, let's get that left leg forward. Spread nice and wide. Keep the chest nice and upright, and let's lift that back leg off the floor without lifting the chest or the hips. You wanna stay low. Just kick that back leg straight to get the knee to separate from the ground just a little bit. It's like we're doing the splits. And here we go. Although there's no equipment today, the program is gonna use some sliders. You can pick those up. There's these little discs, slippery on one side. If you don't have that, if you're on a hard floor, you can just use a towel. That'll be great for the future of this little program. And if you're on like a carpet, you can use like a piece of cardboard or something like that. Anything that's gonna slide. Won't use it today, but we will use them in the future. All right, nice. Let's do the other side. So right leg's gonna be forward, left leg back. Here we go. And let's get it. Stay low with this back, with the hip. Kick that back leg straight. Feel this stretch. There we go. Stay low. Ten more seconds. That's time. All right, we've got the prone shoulder raises. So we're gonna be down on the stomach again, lifting the arms for extra spice. You can try to suck the stomach in so you keep the belly button off the floor as you raise the arms. Keep your back nice and flat. They're really tough. Let's get ready. Really good for overhead mobility and handstands. All right, let's get it. Reach forward, reach up. All right, we've got a nice 1 minute break, and then we're back to some seated hip flexion. You're gonna sit with the legs out in front, sit up in a nice tall position, and we're gonna get after it. Even though it's mobility work, it'll leave you a little bit out of breath. So for these, we got seated hip flexions. We got some good mornings from a 90-90 position, and then some kneeling back bends. So let's bring the hands so we're leaning forward. The further forward your hands are, the better. So don't worry about lifting high, worry about folding in half and lifting only as much as you can, but fold forward as far as you can. We're gonna do one leg at a time. Let's start. Hold for about 2 to 3 seconds. So up, 1, 2, 3, and then other side. 1, 2, 3. Keep leaning forward. 1, 2, 3. Point the toes. 1, 2, 3. And let's keep going. Nice and straight with the legs. Ooh, nice. All right, so we got 90-90 good mornings. So we're gonna bring ourselves to a 90-90 position. Turn your body to your left. So legs out to the left, 90 degree with the knees, both knees, 90 degree at the hips. Turn the chest to face the left shin. Hands up by the head. Keep the back straight, and we're gonna reach forward and long, as far as you can go, and feel the hip stretch, and then up we go. Forward and long. Feel the hip stretch, and then up we go. Keep that moving. Keep the back as straight as you can keep it. Try not to fold from the upper back. Stay nice and straight, keep the shoulders together. Keep moving. right, and we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. Take the legs out to the right. Turn the body to face the right shin. Back nice and straight, hands up by the head. We're gonna reach forward and long. Get ready. Here we go. Back straight, keep the shoulders together. Forward and long. Feel the glute work. Go. Feeling the right side glute working as you go down and stretching same time. Keep the back straight. Good stuff. So we got a kneeling back bend. So we're gonna take a taller kneeling position, bring the arms up overhead, and then from here, we're gonna bend backwards. So deep breath in, expand the ribs, and lean back as far as you can go. Imagine trying to put your hands on the floor. So here we go. And then up. Reach up, lean back, and back up. Keep that moving. One more. Back to those hip flexions. Have a seat on the bum. Lean forward as far as you can and lift one leg at a time, about 3 seconds. The further forward your hands are, the better, the harder. And don't worry about lifting the leg really high if it means you have to lean back. So here we go. 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3, and then other side. 1, 2, 3. Good. Lean nice and far. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Keep that moving. All right. 90-90s to the left. Let's take that 90-90 position to the left-hand side. Sit nice and tall. Face the left shin, arms up by the head. Really work on keeping your back flat. We're gonna lean forward and long. Try not to round the upper back. Keep the back straight. And here we go. All right, we're gonna go back to the other side. So take both legs to the right. You want a 90, 90, 90. Sit nice and tall. Face the right shin. Keep your back as straight as you can. We're gonna lean long and forward. Hands up by the head. Keep the shoulders nice and tight. Let's get ready. Here we go. So guys, 10 seconds. All right. And we're finishing off with some kneeling back bends. So let's take a tall kneeling position. We're gonna reach up and bend the spine backward. Squeeze the bum muscles, suck the belly button in. Inhale through the chest, that'll help protect the spine. And lean as far back as you can go, almost like you're trying to touch the hands to the floor. So here we go. Breathe in, back bend. That's awesome. Keep it going. Whew, that is time. Day 1 is done. Awesome work today, guys. We'll see you in a week.